Hi there, my name is Remy, and I'm the co-founder of RemiRose Corporation. Welcome to my Wealth Creation Masterclass. And in this class, I'm going to show you how to become financially independent. Now, what are the lessons you're going to learn right in here? So I'm going to share with you 6 secrets about creating wealth so you can obtain the return that you desire. I'm also going to show you how the wealthy create wealth and how to obtain big returns without taking any risks. Secret number 4, the hidden treasure. What financial instrument will grow your money tax-free? Remember we told you about tax-free, right? We talked about the various secrets. We've talked about positive arbitrage. We've talked about having the mind of the world creator. We talked about the rules of money, right? We talked about, now we are talking about the hidden treasure. So what accounts will help you grow your money tax-free, compounds your interest, and guarantees 100% that you will not lose any of the money you put in that account. Guess what? We have the Index Universal Life Insurance product. Now, don't get me wrong, there are other products out there, whole lives and other ones. But when we come to a state where it gives you maximum protection and flexibility, we're talking about the IUL, the Index Universal Life. I pulled this particular passage from a book called The Financial Pocket Knife. If you have time, you could go read it. I'm not marketing the book, but I love what I read from that book. And I've used this information in this book to actually help me in my financial career. Now, what does the IUL do? 1, it gives you flexible premium. Means you can pay and you can adjust it anyhow you want. Now, when you put in your premiums, it builds in protection in the form of permanent life insurance, and that expires up to the age of 121. Now, this permanent life insurance is tax-free benefit. Guess what? It bypasses probate. Now, let me tell you something. If you guys don't know what is probate, go and Google it out. Most wealthy people have passed away with their wealth being stuck in the courtrooms for years because of probate. But when you have money in your permanent life insurance and something happens to you, you pass on, it goes straight to your beneficiary. The probate has nothing to do with it. The court has nothing to do with it. I'll tell you guys a little story. I have a family that I helped. And this family, they have life insurance, the IULs with us. And the father happened to pass away. But we noticed that immediately he passed away, the wife went to the bank to pull out some money to run some few stuff. And the bank said, sorry, we can't give you anything. Why? Because the accounts have been frozen. Oh yeah, somebody said, why are they freezing the account? Now let me ask you a question. Let's put it this way. Most people in the United States live with debts. They have loans, school fees loans, mortgages, car notes, credit card debts, hospital bills. Now, let me say, if you pass on, who do you think is going to pay the school fees loan? Or you maybe thought the government was doing charity? What about those credit card debts? What about the mortgage? What about the car note? What about the bill in the hospital where you died? What about your bills, utility bills, internet bills? You think they're going to say, oh, he's dead, let's let it go? No. Look, they're going to freeze those accounts because you have to pay your estate. Now, when we talk about estate, it's not a building you build somewhere. No. You have to pay your estate. Okay? So when they freeze those accounts and you go to collect the money, you say, oh, my father named me as a beneficiary. I'm the will. This is my will. You went to the bank and say, no, take that will, go to the court and let the court give you an execution order. Now you take it to the court. That is when it goes to probate court. And then they will now request for people who actually have a challenge on the will because you owe people. That's what happens for other products that are not life insurance products. Now with the life insurance products, it bypasses probate. If you have a life insurance of $1 million, as you pass on, it varies with companies, but the earliest I've seen is 1 month, or I think 15 days. One the earliest I've seen is 15 days. After your death, it goes straight to your beneficiary, no probate. And you have multiple settlement options. You can take it in the form of annuities. You can take it in the form of monthly payments. You can take it in lump sum. It all depends on how you want. And this is the thing. This one is the death insurance part of it. But look at it. It has a living insurance part of it, which I call it living benefits. Now, guys, whether we like it or not, we see these things every day. There's critical illness, chronic illness, long-term care, and terminal illness. Guys, I was talking to a friend. and this guy is a good footballer. And I told him about our products and how he can use it to replace his income should anything happens to him, or maybe the family can benefit from it if he passes on. And it's like, no, he's healthy. He doesn't have any time for that. He's too young. He can't die now. Man, I'm not praying you to die now, but the truth is this: if you go to the hospital, you go to the mortuary, or to the mortuary, go to the morgue, you will see a lot of people, big and small. It happens, and it can happen to anybody. But the question I'm asking you is, what will happen to you by the time you went to that hospital and the doctor says, hey, you have cancer, and then you need to go for chemo, and then you stay going to chemo every time, and you run out of money, and then you fall sick, maybe you can't even go to work anymore. What happens to your bills? What happens to your kids? What happens to your children? What happens to your businesses? What happens to all those things you think you have? My question is this: have you set up a plan to replace your income should you not be able to work? Another thing is this: I have a friend, and he just bought a new car, and when he was driving from the dealership, trying to get into the road, unfortunately for him, he didn't know there was another car that had missed his track, and he carried this guy, and this guy was disabled. They had to take off the legs. Unfortunately for this guy, he did not have these policies. I mean, at least not with me, but not with anybody, because he was my friend. But my issue is this: this guy was not able to work for close to 1 year. He couldn't work. He couldn't go to work. He had to pack out of the house he bought because he could not pay the house. The long-term care and long-term disability kicked in, but he could only survive for a while, and he lost the job. My question: if he had been able to set this thing up, he would be able to replace his income up to 90%, depending on what a chronic critical illness, and depending on the company you go with. Guys, these things can happen. Ask yourself, when you have that kidney transplant, when the doctor says you don't want to go to work, when you have that cancer, do you think your income can survive the treatment? What if it does, but what about paying your bills? One of my clients was so happy with me when he was going through a kidney transplant, and then he received a fat check from the insurance company. He had a $1 million policy, and he got a check from the company up to $900,000 to replace his income because he had some kind of chronic or critical or terminal illness. Guys, let's look at all these things. Now, this is with the IULs, and you can get this with other policies. Depending on your situation, we'll talk and know where you fall. All right, so if you look at it, it gives a flexible premium, and then that premium builds some savings within the policy, and that savings grows with interest compounding up to, some companies gives up to like 15%. Of the average rating for some companies has been ranging from 4% to like 7%, but it gives you an interest that works on market index. Now the index can go as low as, minimum I've seen is 0. It means that you don't make money, but you don't lose your principal, right? But it goes as far as even up to 25% for most high cap products, right? So it builds that interest on market index. So you don't lose money, your money is guaranteed. Now it gives you liquidity. You can withdraw the money, where some other policies you cannot withdraw, you can only borrow against, of which we advise people to borrow rather. But with this one, you could withdraw the policy, and then you can also get a loan, and the loan is given to you with favorable rates. And guess what? He may not even be required to pay back. But just like I explained to you about a car loan, right? You take a car loan, just imagine if you pay back that interest, it pays back into yourself. Because when you borrow against your index or universal life policy, you borrow against your death benefit, and you use your collateral, you use your cash value as collateral to that loan, right? So you may decide not to pay back. If you pass on, guess what? It just reconcile the balance, right? Hey, you pass on, so you owe us this, we owe you that, and then they reconcile that. That's what happens. Now the money grows in with a tax advantage. Guess what? After tax contributions, right? The money goes in with, the money you put in is after tax contributions. So the money accumulates tax-free. And guess what? You can get the money tax-free via our policy loans. There's no premature distribution penalties, and there's no minimum required distribution. Man, this is gold, guys. And the worst of it, the best of it all, is that this money is protected against creditors. So that is why I'm telling you about a hidden treasure. Many people know about these policies. A lot of people are using it The wealthy and the affluent are using these policies. But we are happy to get in contact with these policies and to know how helpful they can help us in our pursuit for financial freedom and running our own independent bank. So I want you to take the next steps, right? If you think this information is very healthy for you, if you think this information is very, very healthy, and you like say, hey, Remy, I want to go to the next step. I want to see if this works for me. I want to see if you qualify for this. Please become our partner. Click on the button below to become our partner. So guys, when you click on the button below to schedule a call, now this is what's going to happen. It's very easy. We have just, I think, 2 or 3 steps. Now, when you click on the button to schedule a call, what happens is this. It takes you to our calendar, and then you pick a date, whatever date you want, and then you select your time. You can select any date, right? Whatever works for you, and then you pick up your time. Then when you pick up your time, you scroll down, and then you take continue. Now, guys, it's going to pop up the survey. Yeah, this is the pre-qualification questions we need to know to be sure that this something is going to work for you. Now, please, I will advise that you answer these questions with all honesty, because if we don't get the exact answers from your questions, we will actually not know how to design something that is actually going to work for you, or we will not know how to coach you, okay? So you want to fill these questions, make sure you answer all these questions, and once you're done answering the questions, the next thing you want to do is just hit schedule. And then that is it. You're done with booking the appointment. Thank you so much for your patience, and God bless you. I will see you on the appointment.